Hey everyone, Rebecca here. It is about 2 weeks since my last video, June 12th, 2015. And I just wanted to show you a little progress report on the garden. So I've gotten a lot more mulching done, not as much as I'd like. You'll see it's definitely a work in progress here. So I've mulched and newspapered 2 rows all the way down. And over here, then I ran out of newspaper. So we're going to go to the recycling center and get more newspaper this week. In the meantime, I've been weeding and I mulched all of my potatoes the last few days. So I also mulched the beans over here. So anyway, let me just walk you through real quick. So you'll see I have some potted plants here. These were supposed to go in my front flower bed, but my husband needs to dig up our drain tile and put a new one in, so he's going to be digging up the flower bed. There's moose with the mint. I almost killed it, but it's coming back to life. So I decided to put him out in my garden to attract beneficial insects that'll hopefully eat all the pests. I'm having quite a bit of slug pressure right now, so I am seriously considering getting some ducks, even though I don't really want to eat duck eggs or duck. But there's a quote from a founder of permaculture that you don't have a slug problem, you have a duck shortage, which I think is a pretty awesome quote. So I've been trying to use beer, just like I did in the greenhouse, to get rid of the slugs, but every time it rains it washes all the beer away, and I don't really want to keep buying beer just for slugs. It's kind of dumb. So I'm going to figure out another thing for this year. I'm going to get probably diatomaceous earth and see if there's anything else I can do, because it's getting pretty bad. So here's the corn here. These 2 are mulched, and so it's pretty good. I don't think we're going to have knee-high by 4th of July, which is what we really want, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that tall. This one needs to be mulched and weeded, as you can tell. Something really cool. It's only June 12th, and you see there are little peppers, little Thai chilies. So some nice stir fries are going to be happening here soon. I like them when they're red, not when they're green. So the other peppers, I still am wondering if that's a weed. I think that big one is a weed, because my other peppers are not growing as well. So, and again, I'm just not sure with that. If that's a weed or a pepper. But some of these I know for sure are peppers. So it's just hit or miss this year, as I learn. Over here I have my, they're not much taller than last time, my California Wonder peppers. They're just teeny tiny, so not really doing much. We'll see. Once we have a lot of heat, peppers tend to grow crazy, but it's really sad. I started all of this in mid-April, so 2 months, and they're just these tiny little plants. So I got some of my strawberries down here too. I've been pulling off all the buds and all the little strawberries because I want them to put their efforts into growing bigger this year, and next year I'll have good strawberry yields. So potatoes, doing really well. As long as we don't get potato blight, we're going to be good. Hoping to harvest in September, maybe, or even earlier. I'll have to research that. I planted my Thai basil here, and that's attracting. They're flowering. If you really want the basil to taste the best, you don't want it to flower, but I'm a little overwhelmed with all my plants, so I haven't been able to optimize. So you'll see the kale has just been eaten. I did catch a few slugs, but then the rain came, so it's probably going to be a complete loss. I'll probably start another round of kale in mid-July inside, and we'll see, as long as I have a good slug prevention system in place. So over here is the stick that was supposed to be a blackberry. It never did anything. The rutabaga is here. It's doing all right. It's still getting eaten up, but it's doing all right. This is a borage plant. Now that was also supposed to go in my front garden, so I just planted it out here. And I've seen lots of bumblebees on that, so next year I'm going to have a whole bunch, help the struggling bumblebee population. So yeah, we have a couple more blackberries here. And then as you can see, I have my various lavender. This is a rosemary. It's supposed to be the, got it from Mile High Gardens, I think, and it's supposed to be the most It's, sorry, it's supposed to be the most able to withstand cold. So we'll see if it survives here, because we're zone 6 just barely. And this is a zone 6 plant. So I'm hoping to have some nice rosemary bushes in my front yard next year. So, yeah, so weedy mess here. And I'm wearing my mud boots. Because we just had a huge rain. Probably rained about 1.5 inches last night. So the blueberries, I haven't weeded or planted anything in between them because I'm going to put some sulfur down to really increase the acidity. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I don't know what other plants I could interplant with these. So right here I haven't done much weeding, but there's this onions from onion sets on both sides. I did some weeding here. It makes a big difference. I'm not sure how much mulch I'm going to put around it. Here we have some weeded and non-weeded beets. So you can see the beet plants. I thinned them out. The first year I tried to do a garden, I didn't thin anything out because I just couldn't bring myself to hurt any plant, and everything died. So I'm being more ruthless. So these have to be weeded and thinned out. So it looks like the beets are doing really well. The soil, honestly, we spent $300 on fill dirt. Or not fill dirt, topsoil. And I'm really disappointed with the quality. I could have just gotten alpaca manure for free from our neighbor and put it in. So I'm never buying topsoil again. I'm composting, and I get free horse compost and free alpaca manure. And so anyway, we're looking at the carrots. I planted more carrot seeds because not a lot came up. And then over here, this was supposed to be the parsnips, and as far as I could tell, nothing came up. And so I just planted some heat-tolerant lettuces. So there's a tango lettuce and what is this one? Royal oak leaf lettuce. And someone told me those are more tolerant of the heat because it's getting pretty hot. My celery is just really, really tough. You know, I don't think the soil quality is very good. I didn't do any compost on the ground this year, just the topsoil. And sorry, I'm shaking the camera, and you know, I'm going to get some fertilizer, but I think it might be too late for this celery. We'll see what happens. And then broccoli. It's doing all right. It's getting eaten up, but it's doing much better than the kale. So I do think I'm going to get a broccoli harvest. And then beyond that, we got our strawberries. So, I think that's broccoli. No, sorry. This is cabbage. What am I talking about? Broccoli's over there, and that's getting eaten up. It's pretty bad. Another borage plant there. I'm surprised it's alive. So, raspberries are doing good. That looks like a stick, but it actually has some blooms on it. So those are all doing pretty good. Just letting them grow this year. If I see any blooms or anything, I'm going to pull them off. So, yeah, look at this borage plant. It's been eaten. See how it's been eaten inside and yet it's still alive? That's pretty crazy. Okay, cucumber. And church, I needed to thin out. I volunteer at our church community garden too. It's pretty cool. We're doing a big garden to, we have a food pantry. And so our food pantry is way awesome because people get fresh fruits and vegetables from the garden. So these are my complete failure of bok choy plants. And if you look closely, you will see that they're putting out all these seed pods. So either they're just terrible variety or I just don't know what I'm doing. So chances are I just don't know what I'm doing. We'll give the people who sent me the seed a benefit of the doubt this year. So yeah, I had a tomato that actually turned out to be a weed. It's easy to tell with tomatoes, not so easy with peppers. So that's from my church garden. There's another one. So those are cucumbers I just planted because they needed to be thinned out anyway. So I brought them home and planted them, and looks like they survived. So the tomato plants are, as usual, in Ohio. Tomatoes grow like crazy, so they're doing really good. So I think that's, yeah, so more peppers here. I need to do more weeding and mulching. The hot pepper varieties seem to be doing a lot better. Those are the ones I started in February. Shoot, I'm starting all my peppers in February next year. I don't mess around with peppers. Gotta have them. So, again, you can see I kind of put my potted plants here. So let's go over here. I'll show you what's going on. Got my grape here. And this other grape. And look at how well they're doing. This is supposed to be the a cherry tomato, and it's Isis variety. But to my benefit, I wouldn't have bought an Isis tomato, but it just was labeled organic tomato, and I thought it was Iris tomato, but the tag says Isis tomato. I'm like, oh man, I don't want any tomato jihad in my garden. Anyway. I hope I just didn't get investigated by saying that. Things I shouldn't say on YouTube videos. Yes, I have militant tomatoes growing. So I take issue with that because it was supposed to be Iris. Iris tomato. These are all my trees. So you'll see the new addition is, oh, just walked right by it. Forgot. These are my Seaberry trees. So these grow native around coastal regions. I know they're native to England. I'm not sure if they came over to the U.S. or they're native to the U.S. too. This one is the only one that has not bloomed yet, so I don't know if it's dead. But I ordered 5, he sent me 6, so one of them doesn't bloom. I can't complain. Seaberry, so those are my native plums here. They're doing pretty good. So, why did I put Seaberry in here? Seaberry are nitrogen fixers. So there's certain varieties of plants that put nitrogen in the soil. And if you interplant them with your other trees, you need less inputs. So I don't need to fertilize my other trees. That's another Seaberry. So I have 6 Seaberries, my apple, interplanted. One of them may be dead. But the goal is to really create a natural habitat. This is called permaculture, although I'm just learned about it literally a month ago. So I'm kind of implementing it haphazardly. Rather than once I learn about it, I'll probably start with a new piece of land and start right from the beginning. I'm just really fascinated with permaculture. So this is the other tomato. This is Matt's wild cherry tomato amongst the weeds. This actually had newspaper in there. So maybe my love of newspaper is showing to be faulty, or I just didn't put it thick enough. So, but, you know, it's better than what it could be. I mean, it used to look like that, all those plants, so I think we're doing all right. Then, if you'll see down here, I have my compost piles now in place. So, I mean, I'll just show you from here. You don't have to wait while I shake the camera and we walk over there. So anyway, just 5 pallets. My husband just tied them together with rope. And in the front, and so it creates 2 bins. The first one is horse compost, although when we got it, we realized it wasn't composted enough. So we put it in there. And then the second bin is where our food scraps are going in. I just put a bed of straw in there, and then we put more horse compost on top, and then now I have more food scraps. So in about 6 months I'll rotate, you know, we'll stir it up, and as needed we'll just add more pallets as I get alpaca manure. And next year I'm probably going to add 2 rows to the garden. Right now it's 6 rows, and I'm going to add 2 more and probably just do strawberries because I'm in love with strawberries. And getting strawberries fresh in Ohio is hard. You have to fight off the crowds. So, anyway, that's the garden update. And I'll come back in probably about a week or 2. Hopefully I'll be done with all the mulching, and you'll just see lots of straw and pretty green plants and no dirt or weeds. So, this is Rebecca signing off.